I have like kind of a hot take just to like throw it in there just for a little mix in there.
Ooh.
Should Polynesian dances be taught by a non-Polynesian? Hot take.
Oh.
There's no right or wrong answer. We have her here. I'm just
Let's
like,
talk
might as
about it.
well.
Let's talk about it. That's what we're here for.
Hey, what's
Let's
that
talk about
siren?
it.
I know.
Let's
Let's
know,
talk about it.
press
Let's talk about
it.
it. Let's
DJ
talk about
noise.
it. All right. Let's
Hot
get it.
take.
That is a hot take.
We can start first. Do you think so, Shane?
Me?
Yeah. Hot take.
Man,
Yes or no?
I think it goes down to see, man. I want to hear from you, but my short and summarized answer is going to be, I think, if they have the proper knowledge and if they have the proper intentions and if they come from a place of they genuinely understand the culture and they
Mhm.
understand the history and all that things and they are inspired by that and want to share that knowledge with other people. That's
Mhm.
my take on it. You know what I'm saying? That's just me.
Dante?
And I would actually have to agree with him. And that's
Okay.
just my take as a dancer. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I really do believe like through movement and through like I'm gonna double back on it later after this conversation because
Mhm.
it stuck out to me. But if you are properly bred into it, then I
Mhm.
believe look if you know your knowledge and you know what if you're gonna teach what we would teach as a Polynesian person, I think that's okay. I think that's okay.
Okay. I'm gonna keep it a buck as well. And I'm gonna say no,
Mm.
but here's my thing with that, especially because um like maybe sure like if you're of another culture, I'm just trying to say like if you're white, no, I don't think so. I don't think anybody who's not Polynesian could understand the experience and the spirit that like we
Hmm.
live on a day-to-day basis to be able to call to those like the spirit like gods and like things like that to where you can really teach and like form somebody. So like I feel like sure if you are at the YMCA and you're just teaching a little hula class whatever, but if you're trying to actually compete and you're trying to be serious about this, like this is something that is very like
It's
you
within the
know
roots of it all.
yeah. So I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Okay.
I love that. I respect that.
Um, yeah, I think I'm okay. So, first I'm gonna talk about something that is like pertinent to me that is going to answer this question. I am Polynesian, definitely. I feel like I look it, and I carry the last name Liu Fao. I carry the last name Tangalo. I carry the last name Reed. I carry the last name Su'apaia.
Mhm.
I'm just really talking about more so my Samoan side, but I also have been, for lack of a better word, coming. We're over here in Long Beach, so put on blast before.
Mm.
Mm.
I'm like, girl, don't even try to sound so scholarly. Just say it.
Say it.
Because where my specialty is from a different island.
Mm.
My specialty is in what we say oriteiti. It's Tahitian dance and music.
Mhm.
I am versed in other islands, but my specialty is Tahitian. And people have felt away because they're like, well, that's not your lineage. You're not Tahitian. And I'm like, okay, no, I mean, I see what you're saying. But the teachings, okay, when we talk about teaching, there's a lot of basic steps and technique that are movement based, but the essence and the teaching of it is very Polynesian
Mhm.
universally. So then on top of that, I don't mean to sound all any kind, but like at the same time, I can show my face in
Yep.
Tahiti and not to be, I think it's good to be proud, but then there's a borderline where there's ignorance too. Not to be ignorant or arrogant, but my whole life, I've been going back to Tahiti and consulting with mentors and the people, and sometimes not even just to benefit for Nonosina or what I do, to
Mhm.
simply breathe the air,
Yeah.
get my feet wet in the water, the sand, to even just be in the marketplace and observe how the local people interact, their facial expressions, all those nuances.
Mhm.
To me, I actually don't go there to study music and dance. I go there to observe. I go there to support. I go there, for those reasons, and that helps me create because it comes from a different place. It's not, oh, I want to learn this piece of choreo so I could take it home and teach it. No, like,
Mhm.
girl, I got to do that on my own.
Yeah.
So, I've been put on blast, like, hey, you're not Tahitian. But at the same time, if me and you go to Tahiti, I'm almost positive they're not going to really know who you are. And it's not, to like put you on blast, but it's like, no, there's a lot behind the scenes and root
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
that are going on. And attending these different cultural events, not even just competition, but, protocols
Mhm.
and protecting sacred spaces that to me, that is far beyond the popularity of dance.
Yeah.
It's because of these things that we are able to even have a dance studio.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not about a workshop, dance choreo workshop. Like, what about you go to the in Tahiti Mare, and it's like a sacred space, and just be there, help clean it up, pick up
Mhm.
trash on the beach. Like, that is actually doing something that's far more important than you thinking if I should teach dance or not.
Mhm.
So there's that. When we bring it to here, now we're based in Southern California, right? You have people specifically teaching talking about dance groups, because okay, if we talk about Super Samoa, it is very much protected and I don't want to say perpetuated, because I feel like that's when something's extinct, but we're
Mhm.
very much alive and thriving. But
Mhm.
it's very much in the hands of our Samoan people,
Mhm.
you know. And then when you look at the Taulunga as well, or Punakes for Tonga, it's very much in the hands of people that come from Tonga.
Mm.
When you look at Maori groups, it's very much in the hands of, you look at hula.
Yeah.
One thing I really do love about the hula ram is they're kia'i, they're protectors. It is very much in the hands of Hawaiian people
Mhm.
that are very well versed into protocol. Tahitian, in which a lot of people deem as like hula dancers, but it's actually they're probably thinking about Tahitian.
Mhm.
I do feel that a lot of people kind of wake up and like, I'm gonna start a group, and they start a group, but it's like,
Yeah.
girl,
Yeah.
there's so much more. One thing that you said that I completely that I do agree with is, if you don't understand the meaning, let's talk about tapa, the fabric of the Polynesian people. If you don't know what it took or what plant that came from and the process of making tapa, and then how they have like clubs of tapa makers that
Yeah.
sit there, cross their legs, and then they create chants to help beat,
Mhm.
the tapa and piece that together. And if you don't know that it's an extension of Mother Nature and it's just to adorn your body as a costume, then yeah, you're missing the whole essence.
Mhm.
And I do think us as Polynesians, whether you dance or not, we see tapa or siapo or whatever it may be, we see it at weddings, we see it at funerals,
Yep.
we see it at CEs, we see it, adorned in our homes in frames.
Mhm.
These come from such long lineage, from the lines of our ancestors. This was the
Mhm.
fabric of our people. It's
Yeah.
present at a lot of very Polynesian things that don't have to do with dance.
Yes.
Mhm.
So if you don't understand that, and then you just want to, use it for a costume and cut it all up, and then like there's a costume change, you throw it aside. To
Mhm.
me, you miss the whole cultural context of it.
Yeah.
And so I do agree that it is very difficult if you're not brought up in sometimes Polynesian ways. Some things can't be explained.
Yeah.
We just know.
Yep.
We
Yeah.
just know.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like for us, I don't need to. I'll walk in front of a room of people that are not Polynesian. I might not say too low, but I will literally like lower myself and walk.
Yep.
It's just
Yeah,
the unspoken thing.
yeah.
We just
Yeah.
know. So in dance, I think it gets very tricky because a lot of people, especially with Tahitian, there's a lot of routines you make with just drum beats, but no
Mhm.
words. Once you take out the language, you take out a lot of the cultural essence.
Mm.
So even in Tahiti, they create these rhythms and beats, and you can create dances, but they always have a story to it.
Yeah.
Here, I find that a lot of times they create, innovate, but you're like a tree with no roots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have a bunch of branches and fruit and whatever, but you are like barely hanging in there because you're not rooted in the tradition.
Yeah.
And in tradition, I don't mean dance, I mean the cultural teachings.
Mhm.
So that's where it gets tricky. So if you are brought in, I do know a lot of people who are not of Polynesian blood, but they were adopted by Polynesian
Mhm.
families, and they could speak, they can state their, how do you say? Adopted family, their lineage, their genealogy, and they know. But I will say there is something very special about Polynesians who teach anything Polynesian, because it is in our DNA. It's a blood that blisters in our veins, and it's
Mhm.
mana.
Yeah.
It's so organic. And that's why when we see our brothers from Aotearoa do the haka,
Mhm.
man, you get chicken skin.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it
every
makes me
time.
want
Every
to
time.
cry.
Every
Yeah.
time.
When I see, once I hear the ingi for Samoa, man, once I,
Yeah,
man, I start
You know it's on.
right.
Yeah.
I get really emotional,
Mhm.
and it's those things. It's like we grew up, and it reminds us of our grandparents, and then their grandparents, and
Yep.
it taps into something that you cannot teach, and
Yep.
it's honestly that mana, that blood, that DNA that we
Mhm.
have. And if we are teaching something and calling it Polynesian, we do have to present raw stuff like that,
Yes.
and sometimes it can't be taught.
Exactly.
Sometimes, so yeah,
Hot take. That was a
Yeah.
good
That
one.
was a
That
good
was-
hot
that was
take.
good.
That was
That
a
was
great
good.
hot take.
that was you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she come out of nowhere with those hot takes.
Yeah.
man. You
Yeah,
gotta-
yeah.
yeah,
Nah, I'm
Careful.
like, okay, I'm not ready, but I'm ready. You know what I
That's
mean?
that ocean side coming in hot.
Good stuff, sis.
No side or
Nah.
no side.
I love all y'all from my side.